Hello, One Leeds fans. Hello, Leeds United fans. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. As you can tell by the title, by the header, it is deadline day, and Leeds United have got to We've got, how long have we got left now? 4.5 hours, I believe it is, till the deadline. I want to let me know your thoughts. We're going live at 10 p.m. with Brownie. It's round the clock stuff, everybody. And this, what I wanted to do on this particular stream was really just go into the specifics of what we're looking for with sort of 4.5 hours left. And I want you guys to brief me if anything happens. Of course, I'm not going to keep this on for the full time. Don't worry about it. We'll take a deadline day off. I'm just going to show you as well. The One Leeds fan channel merch, everybody, is available and it's rocking. I can see Gav Marshall in there as well. My business partner, shout out to you, Gav. Check out Back 4, everybody. Link in the description below as well. We've got football prizes. Get involved this weekend. You're mad if you don't. I think even I've got involved this weekend. £3.99. I think we've got about 18 plus prizes, including hospitality tickets, including signed shirts. Honestly, get involved. It's well worth it. But we're here to discuss the transfer window. We're here to Ian just said just been to ER and they have camera audio equipment out. It's always a good sign, mate. Yeah, I think what we're looking at right now, everybody, is maybe just the Schmidt incoming. If I'm being serious with you guys, what's the latest news? Gustavo Hamer is pretty much out of the running. Chris Wilder has confirmed today that the likelihood is that Trusty will be going to Celtic for around about £5 million, and then nothing else will be happening regarding that. We spoke to Nancy Froston earlier. I'd go and have a watch of that, everybody. It's just it's a really interesting insight on everything that's happened in this window as well, not just the transfer rumours. So, yeah, make sure you check that out after this. What else do we know? Sallai from earlier on this morning, we've not done like a proper update on him. It looks like that has just died a death from something which was really sort of like moving, it felt like, with Sallai. It just felt like it was gathering a little bit of pace maybe yesterday. And I think we were probably all coming into this final transfer hurdle thinking to ourselves, do you know what? That's the one. That is the one. And I wanted to get a gauge on what you guys think ultimately. With 4.5 hours left and probably the likelihood, I mentioned this on Twitter, that I think we might get a 10 p.m. Sort of, there's one more left or don't go to bed just yet. And I think Schmidt will be rolled out as that signing. That's my prediction anyway. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But yeah, Hamer out. That's definitely not happening. I sort of called it on Twitter like 3 days ago, I think it was. I just never thought that was going to happen. Stripping a division rival who've just come down, first year of parachute payments. I know they're amidst the takeover. I just could not see that happening. And Leeds lowballing them. And then obviously the news about 10 million quid in Peru came out. So, yeah, I just didn't see it happening. It would have been I think it would have been the most mental saga in the championship transfer window, 100%. It'd have been like, whoa, Leeds have done what? And look, as Leeds United fans, we're not really used to that, are we? It's not really, I can't really remember anything like that ever happening in my lifetime. Just something, some like big boy bully move like that happening. And we know Sheffield United are vulnerable. They had an 17 million pound release clause on Hamer the week before, which expired. That really didn't link with me. And then sort of Leeds quashed the rumours and the lies of a Pro exchange. So, yeah, we're speaking to Nancy about that earlier. It's fascinating to hear what she had to say about that. And she does know Danny Hall on the Sheffield United side very, very well. So go check that out. And she gives quite an interesting insight on what Danny's like. And, because you kind of have to assess the character. Danny Hall had to turn his replies off because he was getting called a liar and all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know on that front, but it was a bit of a mad sort of few days, and it feels like this transfer window has just been mental, especially covering it. It's been like, what's true, what's not, what's true, what's not, and you're trying to fine tune what you actually know and what you don't know, and what's true, what's vague, and what's not. And it's just been a bit mental, to be honest with you, especially covering it. But I'm sort of going into this final hurdle right now, and I'm looking at the squad that we've built. I'm still thinking it's thin on the ground, and I think a lot of what we need to sort of analyze when it comes to Leeds United right now is maybe the profiles. What do we maybe struggle with last season? It was breaking certain teams down, but who was able to do that for Leeds United? A lot of it was Somerville and a lot of it was Rutter. And I think right now massive fan of the Ramazani deal. I think that if you've got one statement this window, it is the Ramazani signing. I think that one has been a colossal signing of which you're looking at and going, wow, yeah, lovely, really good addition there. I maybe expected just a bit more than what we have. Let me just go along the signings. I mentioned this morning when we spoke about it with Nancy as well. Really happy with the Bogle deal. Have to say, massive fan of that one. I think we've done a 5 million quid. I think that one will come good throughout the season. Schmidt looks like he's going to battle with Bogle for that starting spot. Gives us a little bit of cover as well when it comes to it. He's played a very, very decent chunk of games. Schmidt looks like that one's pretty much just down to sort of like, cross the dotting the I's and crossing the T's sort of thing in terms of a transfer. So big fan of that. The Tanaka one, as you guys know on the channel, we've spoken about Tanaka for a long time now. Always going to be happy with our Tanaka coming in. And then you look at going forward as well. Man or Solomon. Okay, so I've said like 3 of which there I'm really happy with. Roden overall, I'm happy with as well. I like the intent from Leeds, so that's 4. Solomon, I'm okay with, but it's a huge risk for me. Is he worth the risk? He probably is. It's not my money that I'm putting into the Solomon deal, which is on 50k a week. I can tell you that for a fact. You can choose to believe it. You don't have to, but 50k a week, it's a big outlay. Ajax did that to us. Thank you. I've always liked Amsterdam. Cheers, Ajax, for ramping up that price. But there you go. And I think it's look. If the Man or Solomon deal comes off, you're laughing. You're absolutely laughing. And at this level, for his caliber and his quality, listen, you can't even question it. But can he stay fit? Can he stay fit? And that's why I'm looking at this window right now and I'm thinking it's good, but it could have been a lot better. And I think just one player. Let me break down exactly why I think one more. Brandon's in the building. Shout out to you, mate. Super chat, top man. Need a 10, mate. Rutter has gone. Hope you well. Top man, Brandon. Know you're a big fan of the channel. I just think that profile of a number 10 or a right winger would solve everything. And I genuinely believe we got a 10 or a right winger. Guys, I think I'd literally come out tonight and at the end of the stream with Brownie, which we're doing at 10 p.m. tonight, I'd come out and say, Brownie, I'm convinced we'll do it, mate. I'm convinced we'll go up as champions. But I genuinely think that's all this squad needs right now. Let me explain to you exactly why. I think when you break down the profiles of the forward line, Joseph, we know that Ramazani can go up there. Okay, not frequently, but we know we can go up there. We know Nonso can go up there. But I think the worry for me is just if we have a breakdown of Joseph and Peru is not a number 9. And I believe, I know some of you guys might not believe this, but I believe that Leeds did try and exchange Gustavo Hamer and Joel Peru. I think that happened. Okay, it's just my belief, but that doesn't signify me with the understanding that Leeds are willing to really push home Joel Peru this season and work with him in a 4-2-3-1 system. That's my belief. I'm just a fan, okay? And it's just what I'm choosing to believe based on what I know. But look, if that is real, it might not be real. But if it is real, Peru, not is surplus to requirements, of course, but even in the Portsmouth game when Bamford's coming on in replacement of Joseph, I'm thinking, right, okay, so it's still Bamford then, isn't it? Bamford is now injured and he will consistently be injured because right now this guy earns a living from Leeds United for doing nothing. So, I mean, fair play to him. He's at that point in life where it's like, he's in a very, very good position. He's either injured or he's not performing. So but he does well. I checked his stats out the other day. I think he's played 200 games for Leeds and he scored 58 goals for a striker, which is just mental. But yeah, so that would be the worry for me, maybe that we just don't have that depth there. And Peru, he didn't fancy, in my opinion, up top last season, hence why Bamford came in ahead of him and hence why he put Peru in the 10 and Rutter would end up going up front. I just don't think he fancies him up there, so I'm not 100% sure that worked. So maybe an attacking profile that could fit, that could maybe do what Ramazani does, but maybe has a little bit more in the locker when they're playing that false 9 or who've got something else in the locker playing in false 9 and just in that 10 as well. They've done it, more frequently in their career. Peru, it just doesn't seem like we're able to fit him in the system. I don't know why. I still think there's a player there to work with, but if we can't, if we are including him in exchange deals, I worry about him, and it's not, his confidence doesn't seem high at the minute. So maybe in that respect, I'm a little bit worried, just in that forward line. But we've got a team full of dribblers right now, which is great on many levels. I think Solomon's a dribbler. Willian Yonto, can he be a creative spark, an innovator for a 46-game season? 44-game season, because I think there's now a heavy, if we don't do a 10 or a Sallai, who could play right but played attacking midfielder as well multiple times, who can actually be really innovative in that role, because we know Ao Tanaka is going to be playing in that double pivot. So, I wonder if we'd have actually gone out there and got a profile who could create. I love Willian Yonto. You guys know I'm a hype man when it comes to him, and I love Willian Yonto. But is he going to be sustenance in that role for the full season? And that is it. You've got a lot of dribblers by trade. Gnonto, dribbler. Solomon, dribbler. Ramazani, dribbler. Are they the creation and the innovation that you get from that number 10? That we know that we've needed. I guess the secondary point to all of this is as well, and this still might happen, by the way. Is I maybe expect us to tap into the loan market in the Premier League when it came to a number 10, just a technically proficient footballer who maybe we waited all this time to see what individuals are surplus to requirements, similar to what we did with Solomon, really, which has been a really good deal. If you take sort of the injuries out of it, if he is going to be fit, brilliant. It's going to be a really good deal for Leeds United. But I just thought that if we waited, that was going to happen maybe on the last day, and it still might. But I still think, there's loans to be had there. Loans to be had, surely, at Premier League level with players who are surplus to requirements, I should say. So I just think potentially, overall, I think as a fan base, we're all very aware at this moment in time that one, we can all sort of convince ourselves, and look, there'll be the most positive people out there who are saying it's been an incredible window, but I don't think we can say that, probably because of the players that we've lost. And in my Daniel Farke, if he was completely happy with the squad right now, he would have said, for example, we're going to get 2 bodies in. We're going to get 2 bodies in. But for a month now, he's referenced getting, or I should say, for 3 to 4 weeks, however long Rutter's been gone, he's referenced getting almost a number 10 to replace him. And I think when you look at the dribblers as well, you've got Aronson in there as well. So you've got to look at the creativity. Who's doing that Rutter role? 16, 17 assists last season. Can that be Willian Yonto? I love Willian Yonto, and I was the one who said we should put him in the 10. And people will say, no, Connor, Aronson in the 10. Aronson just doesn't have that technicality, that vision, the awareness to, in my opinion, he's more of a runner. He's more energy. He's more endeavour, getting on the end of things. He's not a number 10. Think about our number 10s from the past, Samu Saiz, Pablo Hernandez, players like that, Jorginho Rutter. They've all got a little bit of something when it comes to innovation and guile and just that element of class. And we know Willian Yonto is that, but invariably, he's a winger. He is a winger, hence where we saw him last season, hence where we've seen him his entire career for Leeds United. So I think for me, the depth of just having like a Gnonto to an Aronson, it's okay, but you are missing a huge profile there, a huge profile for me. And that is maybe where I'm looking at. And I guess if we're just looking at, for example, a Sheffield United, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Gustavo Hamer and Callum O'Hare. If they're playing a number 10, if they're playing, a 4-2-3-1 system, it's 2 very different profiles in the number 10 in Hamer and Callum O'Hare. Callum O'Hare is maybe a little bit more sort of intelligent with his movement and cute, whereas Hamer is just a powerhouse in that number 10 who's going to rocket one in from 20 yards and just shoot. But 3 will go on target, 2 might go in. So they've got different profiles, and I'm just using that as a comparison because they're the first team that have come to my head. But yeah, and I just think maybe with 4.5 hours left, or 4 hours and 15, I'm hoping that they get one in. I'm hoping that we'll get one in. Is the squad good enough for top 2, everybody? Yeah, I do think so. I do think the squad is good enough for top 2. Am I still going to hold the manager accountable? 100%. Of course he's still accountable. It's a very, very good side. And when you've seen Burnley being stripped, Luton haven't started strongly, you do look at the other demoted sides and think, okay, not bad there. I think there is one side who stands sort of head and shoulders above others, and probably us when it comes to a transfer window, and that is Sheffield United. But we've still had a good window, but it could be a very good window. And we all know as Leeds fans that we ain't doing playoffs. So maybe the pressure is on Leeds a little bit more as well with next season, our third season in the Championship, if we were to remain down, by the way. I just think that assurance of us getting in the top two is just a number 10 away. And I think the thing is they've worked on it, haven't they? Sallai was probably been brought in as an attacking midfielder. Gustavo Hamer, the initial bid was 13 million quid as a central attacking midfielder. So they know that is the profile that they want. So I understand they're not going to be rushed into a decision, but at the same time, even links with billing and all this sort of stuff, they might not have been accurate, and billing can be in a double pivot as well. But you do wonder whether or not this is a position that they've actively been trying to recruit in with Rutter leaving. And guys, we all know with Rutter leaving, you need two more. I think you need two bodies for Rutter, because no one replaces Rutter. We know that. So you need two bodies in for him, in my opinion. And they've done it in Ramazani, where Somerville's been replaced by Ramazani. And we spoke on the channel about how that's such a brilliant replacement. Bogle, Frayling, or whatever you want to talk about. Brilliant replacement. Rodon for himself last season, but now partnered with Strout. Excellent bit of business. Schmidt in, big fan of that as well from what you've seen and what you've read about him. Tanaka in for Kamara is an upgrade, but we're just missing it. I think we're missing that Rutter replacement who, when teams are in low blocks, we can't just rely on dribblers. It can't just be dribblers and energy. And we've seen with this manager, he does rely on these big presences to deliver X-factor moments in low block situations from the opposition. So I just think that needs to be a huge target for Leeds with 4 hours left. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying. Brandon says we're defo strongest, but a few injuries and boom. Yeah, and I think that's it, mate. I think a lot of it is just probably a lot of worry with Leeds fans in terms of just maybe the injury status. If Solomon is to go down, then you've got James who needs to come back in on that right hand side. If James isn't having, let's say, the greatest game, sort of what do you do on that right hand side? But I guess maybe Aronson out there. But when you're looking at Championship standard, you've got to look at the teams that we're going to be coming up against. Leeds have a very good side, a very, very good side. Once again, I'm going to reiterate this because, I know some people are going to come on here and say I've been negative or whatever, but I think I'm probably saying what nearly 3,000 of you guys are thinking in the fact that the window would be special if we got in another body with the amount that we've got gone. And we know what's going to come out from the club from a successful window. All the profiles have been attacked. But from Graham, from Nancy, from everybody in and around this circle, we know that they've wanted 3. So 2 out of the 3 we know are done. Come on, let's get that third Leeds. Keep in your comments in, everybody. Yeski said 6 out of 10 window. Big fail if we don't get a 10 when we play a system that requires one. Joke. I think maybe that's not a bad point. Alex is with a pound. Thanks so much, Alex. I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, I don't know if I'd say it was a joke, mate. I think they've tried to lead on it on a data model, of which you've seen us go for certain personnel. But I just think they must have gone in for Hamer with some intention, right? They must have gone in with some intention. We've had 2 different accounts of what the bids have looked like, but they've definitely gone in for him. And they were willing to spend 13 million from what we know. And if it is 10 million for Hamer and then 10 million with Perot, if that is the alternative deal, or maybe a secondary bid that we didn't know about, which they've come out and denied, you're looking value-wise at probably about, lowest 18 million there, 20 million quid. So they're clearly keen on Hamer. So they've clearly been keen on a cam. So I just, with a data-led recruitment model for the life of me, I can't see how we didn't have like a 1, 2, and 3 option when Rutter left, which was always going to be inevitable for me. So yeah, I just think maybe it takes us to a 6.5 window out. I genuinely think a central attacking midfielder takes us to an 8. And I think, look, when I'm talking 9s and 10s, I'm talking about a keeper and then another attacker to challenge Joseph. Then I'm talking a 10 out of 10 window. But that's dream world, isn't it? But right now, I'd probably see it as a 6.5, maybe 6.67. Verging on 7, but not quite 7. I think a replacement or a GK would be unbelievable. And the Cooper deal from Plymouth to Sheffield for 2 million quid. I just think if we'd have sold Mez on for obviously he'd go for more than that. But if we sold him on, that's what agents are there to do. Put him out there and got in like a Cooper and made profit on that deal, and that profit to maybe go into a central attacking midfielder if we're talking about money. I just think that would have been such a vice. And I said this from the start of the window, to attain capital. Okay. And we're talking about if, buts, and maybes here, and hypotheticals and scenarios and all this sort of stuff. But you just feel that that's an asset that Leeds could have utilised in the market 100% to get rid of and then bring players in. But yeah. Grundadator says, Connor, love the business suit mugshot. Hopefully Leeds can conduct business by the end of the window. Hopefully you're right, mate. Alex says, would you take Bernardo Silva, Connor? Yeah, I wouldn't mind him, Alex. I wouldn't mind him, mate. He'd be a decent one, wouldn't he? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Good chat. Money's also staggered payments. Let's have a look. Craigie boy, just sitting down to an American style hot dogs. How about signing more Americans? They love us big bucks, bro. Let's have a look. Keep getting your comments in, everybody. Interested to hear what you think. Lee Fitness says, would love someone to replace Biscuit Wrist. Sam Johnston was sold for 10 million. He would have been good. Yeah, keep getting your thoughts in, everybody. I'm interested to hear what you did. Genuinely, because I've come on and I'm just trying to get a little bit of the gauge of if I'm maybe in the wrong. If I'm in the right here, are you guys sort of thinking something similar, or do you think it's been a really good window? Sim says, I just hope this bunch have the mentality when it matters. Jaguar skills, talking in the chat there. Saiz was unreal. Yeah, he was. Don't understand why Leeds didn't go for Cabal. Yeah, Cabal was another one. Simon says it's been a great window. Was looking like one. It's not been a great window. The complete opposite side. Yeah. 100%, mate. Stevie says, please can I answer this question? Gray, Summer, and the Crown Jewel sold. This is not a good window. Gray was everything for me. I think, interestingly enough, the Cabal of which we're talking about from Paris FC feels like that was one where that had legs in it. He was a very, very good player. It was us and Burnley going in for him. Looked like an attainable fee. Weren't going to spend loads on it. And it just died, didn't it? Really similar to Jubicic, just died. And it was like, oh, okay. That one's gone. Like there was obviously loads of you guys saying Paris to LBA, there's a private jet and all this sort of stuff, but it just nothing happened with it. And I thought that was maybe one that they've had on the shortlist, and I wonder why they've not pulled the trigger with that one. That might be one that we're looking at towards the last few hours. But I just think in my lifetime, it's not really been a case of Leeds getting bodies by the end of the window and big bodies by the end of the window. I can't remember, like, when was the last standout signing, like squad difference making signing we made on the last day of a deadline day. It just doesn't normally happen. It's normally scheduled, and when we're expecting to sign a player or players are going out, as that day in 2014, I think, when Matt Smith was sold and Ross McCormack or whatever it was. But it just doesn't really seem to be very Leeds, does it? So yeah, I think that was probably the one. Sim says we knew the squad was going to be a lot worse than last season. I agree, and that was Rob. What? Jesus Christ, Rob! This is such a dense comment. We're all talking about the evaluation of the transfer window. If you want to find yourself in an echo chamber, mate, just go talk to yourself in the bathroom and start saying, support the team, support the team, support the team. It's such a dense comment, mate. On this channel, it's all about discourse, debate. Go find another one, mate, if you just want to sit in an echo chamber. Don't do that on here, mate. I don't do that on here. Genuinely, if someone's got a different opinion, I'll 100% flag it up, as everybody in the chat knows. Connor, you're wrong. I don't think this. I don't think that. Whatever. Listen, don't just come on these channels, and every content creator will tell you this. Don't come on these channels and tell us how to think, because it's just simply not going to happen. I'd respect your opinion if it's about football, but just supporting the team is such a nonchalant nonsense comment. And I've always hated that comment. Just support the team, don't have an opinion. No, we're not robots. We're not robots. So yeah, listen, I think a lot of you, look on both sides of the coin. Look, let's look at one side of the coin. People who are saying it's a really good window. I completely get that. Look, the profiles we've spoken about so far have been really good. We'd have to go over it again, but Bogle, brilliant signing. Rodon, good signing. Okay, 10 million quid, good signing. You know, you look at keeping older Max Ferber. If they can do that, that is good. That's going to be sustenance for Leeds. And bringing players through like De Bayo, who's evidently got some potential. Schmidt being cover for probably Firpo and and Bogle. decent. I'd have preferred like an out and out, but he left footer, but Leeds just don't seem to ever do that. It's always a right footer, Berardi, Ayling on the left. Strouk's been out there, hasn't he? So they just don't seem to get left backs. It just doesn't happen with this club. Ramazani, fantastic purchase. You look at Manor Solomon, could be a good purchase. Tanaka, we've always gone on about him on this channel, as the OGs know. Rothwell, you all guys tell me off for how much I love him. So a lot of it has been positive. A lot of it has been positive. But I think we can all get on board with the fact that to replace Rutti, you needed a couple. And that secondary person is a Cam for me. It is a Cam. So yeah, 100%. I'll be a little bit disappointed by that, but overall, it's been okay. But yeah. So Will says, who starts at the weekend as James is out, Connor? What I'd say, mate, is probably good question. I'd probably go Aronson. I think my starting 11 has been Mez, Bogle, Rodon, Strouk, Firpo, and then I've gone in the middle. Look, I know some of you guys won't like it, but I just think transitionally it's quicker. I think Hull are potentially going to be difficult to break down this weekend, so I want us to be aggressive and quick. So I'd go with Rothwell in there, and I'd go with Ampadu. I think Tanaka will end up coming on at some point, but then a front four, I would go Aronson on the right, William Yonto in the 10. On the left, I would then go Ramazani, and then up top, I'd go Joseph. That's how I think he'll go this weekend. I think Ramazani will start. Supporting your team, moaning about yours. Yeah, look, it's one of those where you sort of deal with it on the channel a little bit, Brandon, where it's like, I get it a lot. It's apparently I've not got enough as much passion for Leeds United, even though my life is dedicated to this club, as you guys know. Like everything in my life is Leeds United, but you're not as dedicated to Leeds United if you don't just support them no matter what. I do support them no matter what, but as a paying customer, I can have my say. Freedom of speech, as I can see a lot of you are saying. I've never understood that comment. You're all more than welcome to get your opinions in here. In life as well. If you pay for something, you can have an opinion on it. We're all passionate people. The Rothwell is Connor's new rocket. I think it might be Tanaka, to be honest, mate. Riley says, Connor, any chance you join Threads? X turned to, and I'm rarely on there and want to keep up with what you're doing. I know it's easier than done, but platform API allows it. Riley, I'll 100% look at that, mate. Yeah, we've been focusing. I'll be brutally honest with you guys throughout the summer. I'm really excited to say, and I said it to the patrons earlier, when you guys might not think this is a big deal, but it's a one-stop shop for everything One Leeds. We are doing a website. I've invested a lot of money into it. And that website will be live hopefully tomorrow. So it's going to make everything a lot more easier for you guys. When it's like merchandise, you want to get involved and read some of the articles that we're getting put on the channel. It'll be on the website, just an interface for everything One Leeds, basically, which obviously encapsulates everything that we do here on the channel. So that website is going to be launched tomorrow. I'm very excited to get it up, and it's been a long time in the wait, and it's not just like with the greatest respect, like Wix website or anything like that. This has been set up by a guy who's done Gary Neville's website, Sky Sports website. So it's been a lot of money and a lot of time. So getting the finite things sorted for it. So that's the big thing I'm working on right now. But in terms of developing everything else when it comes to threads and stuff like that and getting on different platforms, that's something I'll look into, mate. Don't worry about that. Leeds are ready to make a 5 million offer for Frenzy attacker Balumi, according to Magrabaktu. I don't know who Magrabaktu is, but yeah, Balumi's been one that we're all sort of speaking about throughout the window. So we'll wait and see on that one. Jaguar Skills says the smash a like, guys. I thought over 1,000 in the room. Actually, guys, across all platforms, there is now 3,700 of you. We're going to be back at 10 o'clock with Brownie. I know a lot of you guys like Brownie. Brownie's going to be on the channel at 10 o'clock, so please make sure you come in and have your say. Brandon says £6 in super chats. Gonna get yourself a nice pint of San Miguel on me. Do you know what I'm going to be doing, Brandon? I'm going to be sat here at 7 o'clock trying to apply for these Oasis tickets. So the streams never stop. The lights, camera, and action, and been on your laptop never stop. But yeah, I think £6 is just cutting a pint nowadays, isn't it, mate? So thank you so much. Baloomy sounds awfully like Belushi. You're right indeed, mate. But do you know what? It's a lot of it is on the amazing idea of the website, Con. I hope you do player ratings every week. I will do, Carlos. That's something that we're looking at, mate. On the Patreon, we've been putting articles out all the time, so it's been graft. But thank you so much for your support. As I say, I want to give you guys everything back as I can as well. You know, my journalistic head is very much on websites, articles, videos, and just branching out that way, basically. So thank you so much for all of your support, everybody. And listen, we're going to be back in 4 hours' time. There's nearly 4,000 of you in the building. If we can get 1,500 likes, it's all free. Make sure you do that. We've got a Patreon episode that's out now on the insights of deadline day. Make sure you check that out, everybody. We've got articles that will be going up tonight on the Patreon, which are going to be surrounding the encapsulation of deadline day and what all that means. So once again, it's been an absolute pleasure to all of you One Leadsers. Thank you so much, and I will see you at 10 p.m. with Mr. Brown. All the best, guys. See you soon.